Around a year ago, I took and failed my Spanish Deli C2 exam. Even though I passed the speaking portion with flying colors, I failed the writing portion and very much struggled on my reading and listening comprehension. So, what am I going to do about it? I'm eventually going to pass this test. What I decided to do was take my domain list. I have this list of domains that I'm planning on going through and mastering, and I decided, well, how am I going to master it? Am I going to look up articles? Am I going to watch videos based on the domains? I figured out a great way of mastering the domains was to simply write about them. Whatever came to my mind, I would write about those domains in order to master them. And if, of course, there was any new words that I needed to look up, then I would look them up. And sometimes, I guess, like for this entry, or this day, I just wrote about whatever came to my mind. But for this one, down here, what I did was I read an article on, I guess, the weather. I think the different types of rain, or it was either like different types of clouds or different types of rain. And I summarized it in my own words. And of course, the plan is to, I guess the goal, am I on the right screen? Yeah, okay. The goal is to, I guess, do this every day. But as you can see by the dates, I haven't really, haven't been following that daily schedule just yet. That's just the nature of new habits, though. I think they take around 3 weeks to solidify. So yeah, the plan is to do it every single day. I've been thinking about one domain a week because there's about 50 domains. So that would take me about a year to get through. I don't know if that's too much or too little. But that's currently where I am right now in terms of the plan to master domains. And something I've noticed about mastering these domains and writing in general is that it actually has improved my listening and reading comprehension. It's easy to watch a video or to read something and say, yeah, I understood it. But no, prove it. Summarizing what you just consumed is proof that you actually internalized it and understood everything. And I can tell that my attention, not necessarily my attention span, but just purely my attention is shot up just from having to listen harder and being more immersed just by reading. And then another thing, this kind of doesn't really have to do anything with Spanish in specific, is I'm going to be taking the GRE soon. The GRE is it's like the ACT or SAT. It's a preparation test for graduate school. I'm going through this book right now, this GRE test prep book. And when I was going through the reading comprehension section, and this is of course all in English, I got, for the practice tests, I got nearly every single question wrong. I was really struggling with reading comprehension. Like the mathematics was like probably the easiest part, but the reading comprehension was very difficult. And there were lots of strategies that they were giving me in order to improve it. So if I'm struggling with reading comprehension, even in English, maybe getting good reading comprehension is just a level above learning a language. Maybe it's just a completely separate skill set. And maybe I'm just bad at taking tests because, of course, there's mock exams and there's test prep books. So maybe I'm not necessarily, it's not an excuse for failing the writing portion, but maybe I just need to be better at test taking and not necessarily focus all my effort on learning the language. It's not an excuse, but it's just an idea. So for Mandarin, I've also been starting to output writing. I haven't been doing domains, but what I've been doing is, for the longest time, the part where I really struggled with Mandarin wasn't necessarily writing, but it was, what do I write about? Do I write about some random article that I pulled up? Do I write about a TV show that I just watched? What do I exactly write about? So I found this website called 好看视频. It's like Bilibili, but I think it's actually prefer this site better than Bilibili. It has a lot of movie clips, TV clips from TV shows, and as well as I guess some stuff from the news. And they're very short videos, which I like. So what I've been doing is just clicking on a random video and summarizing it in my own words. Again, I'm supposed to be doing these daily, but that's the nature of new habits, right? So something I've also been doing is not just putting them in this Google Doc, but posting them so that native speakers can correct it. I've talked about this in the past. There's this website called langcorrect.com where people can correct your writing. So after I get done writing what I want to write, I just post it to this website, and people can correct it, or native speakers can correct it. I think this is a nice, simple way of writing because it gives me some different material every single time, and they're short videos, which I like. And I guess at a bare minimum, I could write just one sentence a day, and that would be enough to keep up a good habit. So for Korean, more of the same old. I should be further along at this point, 7 months in. But what I've been doing is that instead of scheduling my instead of scheduling that website that I was talking about, I'm instead scheduling these comprehensible input videos from, I talked about this guy in the past. I don't know how to pronounce his name in Korean, but I've scheduled these comprehensible input videos in here instead of the lessons, and that's been a lot more enjoyable. So, so the final thing I wanted to talk about was for, I guess, language learning in general. A couple months ago, I made the announcement that I was quitting Anki for language learning. Now, I do use Anki every single day. I've been using things every single day since like December 29th, 2019. I'm using it every day for things other than language learning. Am I on the right screen? Yes, I am. I've been using it for astronomy. Just started using it for chemistry. It's open source textbooks. For geography, language, there's these Latin and Greek root decks. By the way, someone was asking for if I could find the link to the Latin and Greek root word deck, but I couldn't find it, unfortunately. Some completely random stuff, quotes some Goodreads, and some random stuff from Wikipedia. So I do use Anki every single day. It's not for language learning. But the thought of coming back to Anki for language learning is becoming attractive for some reason. It's becoming tempting, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because I've had a break and I've had some time to reflect. Now, the idea of creating my own cards, immersing and finding my own cards, or finding new vocabulary and creating my own cards, that is not attractive. I'm kind of done with that. But what is becoming attractive is having a pre-made deck and going through that. I think last year I suspended this. I have a lot of stuff in my archive deck. By the way, I've learned that you shouldn't delete your old cards. That could mess up your streak. I had this old idiom deck in Mandarin. There's these four character long idioms called changyu. There's a lot of them, and there's of course pre-made decks on these. I was thinking maybe instead of creating my own cards, I could go through a pre-made deck on these cards, either this pre-made deck or another pre-made deck. And I kind of don't want to come back to Anki because it's kind of like clickbaiting or view farming. Like first you say you're done with Anki, now you say you're coming back. I don't want to like clickbait or view farm or farm drama or anything like that. But at the same time, using Anki specifically or coming back to Anki for language learning and using it specifically for this pre-made deck is becoming attractive. Maybe it's because the reason I was getting so frustrated with Anki for language learning in the past was because going out of my way to create cards was taking too much time out of my immersion experience, and it was ruining the experience. So if I just had a pre-made deck, I wouldn't have to spend any of that time disrupting my flow. It's just an idea. Nothing's set in stone just yet, but yeah, coming back to Anki specifically for Mandarin, for this idiom, this pre-made deck, is becoming attractive. So we'll have to see where that goes. That's everything I wanted to talk about in this video. More videos, of course, will be coming soon. That's all I wanted to say. Thanks for watching.